Welcome back to NewsWatch. NewsWatch reporter Nick Griswold now joins us in studio to let us know exactly what Ellensburg has in store for Dollarway Road. Nick, can you tell us a little bit more about what they're doing to expand Dollarway Road?
Well, Katrina, as you and others may have found, Dollarway Road is kind of beat up a little bit, and the city has a plan to widen the road and add some features to help make it a little more user-friendly. You will notice that when the construction begins, they'll put in new sidewalks, bike lanes, wider road lanes, etc., to make the roadway a little better for new businesses out there.
So when is this project scheduled to start, and what exactly will it have as an impact for businesses and local drivers?
Well, right now the anticipated start date is early this June, and according to Assistant City Engineer Derek Mayo, they're going to try and have as little impact as possible to people who drive that route, meaning they'll close one lane down and then alternate traffic between east and westbound. That way they can keep all the businesses open. There will be a short period for about 5 weeks where the roadway will be completely closed before and after the Reeser Creek Bridge, so they can replace that.
So where exactly is the funding for this project coming from?
Well, the city's put together a funding package which includes grants, property contributions from people who live along the route, and there is some money coming from the city budget. And the city does tell me that they do have the money available in their budget, so there won't be an impact to their budget.
Will there be any changes to the current intersection of University Way and Dollarway Road?
Actually, that intersection there is managed by the Washington State Department of Transportation. At this point, they don't have any money to make that change, but they would in the future like to change that intersection.
So when's the anticipated date of completion for this project?
The middle of summer 2012 is when they're hoping to have the project completely done. So it'll mean a little better drive for you if you're coming from the west interchange on Dollarway Road.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Gas prices have skyrocketed already this year, but those aren't the only prices that continue to rise. NewsWatch reporter Brandon Shirek had the opportunity to investigate what is exactly causing our food prices to rise.
Gas prices aren't the only thing rising through this Great Recession. Food prices continue to rise as higher freight costs impact business. The USDA's Economic Research Services predict the rate of food inflation to rise 3 to 4% through this year alone. That is close to double the 2.8 average over the past decade. Customers must now face not only a shortage of food this year, but must bargain shop to combat higher and higher prices. Not only are consumers picky about which food is the best quality, but they must find the store that provides the best prices. As inflation hits not only gas and food prices, customers might just have to settle for the best they can get for now. But don't think you're alone in this, because growers, processors, and distributors feel the pain in their pockets with us. Keep in mind that rising prices don't equate to increased profit margin for business. One customer, Seth Ronk, isn't happy with the cost.
It sucks. Last quarter I had to eat top ramen for 2 weeks straight because I ran out of money. And I felt sick quite a bit because I just ain't healthy, you know?
The Safeway here behind me in Ellensburg isn't the only store that continues to see rising produce costs. We can only hope, as the weather improves and as the season gets better into spring and summer, that the costs will come down.
Fred Meyer store director Ryan Cheney says gas isn't the only thing impacting food prices.
With the poor weather across not only this nation, but other places in the world, it's been a lot more severe in years past, which has caused the prices to raise. Also, with that, the gas prices raising the way that they are, it's increased quite a bit this year.
Reporting for NewsWatch, I'm Brandon Shirek.
Kittitas County Housing Authority Board Executive Director Perry Rowe says federal funding for subsidized housing is declining. Currently, the board receives 92 cents for every dollar of service. Starting in June, funding will decrease to 61 cents. Rowe is unsure whether cuts will be made to staff or if the board will combine resources with a larger housing authority to stay afloat.
Friends of the Northern Pacific Depot plan to restore the depot in 5 years, but funding might be a problem. Most administrations who give funding cut budgets in half. The depot organization, however, is working on getting a historic structure report which will give the depot tax credits. Still, executive board members say less grants and donations mean more out-of-pocket expenses for the organization members. The group wants to receive complete funding and hopes to be done with the project in the 5-year goal.
Kittitas County will conduct an airfield need assessment for Bowers Field to look at present and future airport needs. Airport Manager Kelly Carlson says this includes runway needs and how the economy affects the airport's funding and others. Kittitas County looks to update a 20-year master plan for the airport. The original has existed since 2004. Stick around to find out what NewsWatch reporter Cambry Bennett-Tua says could be a spring concern.
We'll be right back after this.